So, yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another webinar. So I'm pretty much going to be breaking down, obviously, gold and GJ, seeing where we could possibly look at gold and GJ go over the next few days when it comes to this new trading week. Also going to be answering questions like always for like the next 30 minutes. So let's actually start with gold. So if we take a look at gold on the daily time frame, there's two main levels that I want to pay attention to. It's going to be 1950 or 1960 and 2070. 2070 being our previous all-time highs on 2020 of August, and 1960 being our current level of support. We could actually see gold travel back up into our all-time highs as long as price maintains itself above this 1960 level. Right. The first thing that we have to actually look at is momentum and if this bearish momentum is actually going to hold. If we look at the last few days, we could actually see momentum slowly starting to slow down in terms of like bearish momentum. But when we look at the wicks on the previous daily candlesticks, what we still see are lower lows, and what we still see is price forming lower high points here. Now, obviously, there's not enough detail for us to make like an actual hypothesis or market direction yet. So what we're going to do is go down into a 4-hour time frame. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, what we could see is that price has actually held this 1960 level of support and actually rejected it already. This isn't enough confirmation for me to want to start to look to buy, especially with the time, the current time. It's only 9 o'clock. We want to wait at least until London session. But what I would like to see is for price to come back down, give me another retest, give me another rejection before I actually start looking at taking buys here on gold, right? So as long as price can actually maintain above this 1960 area, we'll look to go long. Now, the first area I'd expect gold to actually go to after rejecting 1960 would be this area over here. So about 2000, let's call it there. So if price were to actually reject 1960, we'll look for price to go to 2000. If price breaks 2000, obviously we'll look for it to go to its all-time highs. Now, if gold actually breaks under 1960, what we'll wait for is a retest, a rejection, and we'll look for price to come probably back down into this area over here where we have this previous market structure lows and we have this previous area of consolidation here. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on gold. Again, just another simple retest and rejection of this 1960 level before I look to go long. If I do end up taking a long position, my long target will be this 2000 price range over here where we have this previous area of resistance. Now, when it comes down to GJ things are a little bit different because if we look at the daily time frame on GJ, it's still pretty bearish, and this daily time frame could actually flip over and continue to go bearish. But the first thing I'd want to see with GJ to actually look to go short with the daily time frame is a break of this level of support here on this 4-hour time frame. Once price can actually start trading back under 152.800, then it's most likely going to be sells all day. But the fact that price right now is trading at 153.200 and we're trading above support is indicating pretty much just buys for me as of right now. So it's a little bit too early for me to actually look for a setup. But really, when it comes down to GJ, what it really just comes down to at the end of the day is a retest, rejection, look for price to go long, right? Or if price can actually break under this 152.800 area, then we'll look for price to come back down to 152 flat. And if price can break that area, we'll look for price to come back down to this 151-ish area here. This could be an example of a complex pullback, but again, it's a little bit too early to tell. And I wouldn't want to actually look to short GJ unless price can break and close under this 152.800 zone. So that's what I'm going to be pretty much looking out for over the next few hours. Again, like we need to wait for these confirmations between looking to actually go short and looking to actually go long, either on gold or looking to actually sell GJ, because again, like it just increases the probability of our trade. We don't want to just be taking aggressive trades all the time. We only want to be taking the highest probability trades possible and really exploit our edge within the market as best as we possibly can. So we have to be patient for our setups. And again, like for those of you guys who literally just joined, what I'm going to be looking for on GJ is a break of 152.800 to go short. And, I'm probably going to stay away from longs tonight, even if GJ actually does go long, because this isn't a setup that I would like to take a long position here. I'm just going to kind of wait it out on GJ because the trend on the daily time frame overall still is bearish. So I'm just going to kind of wait it out. So let me know whatever questions you guys have. If you guys want me to break anything else down, yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions on any of the pairs that I just broke down, like gold and GJ.
Can you break down Nas 100?
Okay. I mean, this isn't like a pair that I frequently trade, but I mean, looking at the weekly time frame, there's weekly support throughout this range here. You have weekly lows over here. You can kind of already see the daily time frame rejecting this level of support here. So really on NAS, I would just kind of expect for price to come back down into this level of support. I wouldn't really look for anything. And this is pretty much the US 30 chart. The S&P 500 chart looks almost identical, right? I wouldn't really wait for anything other than a break, retest, and a continuation down at this point in time. If you're going to look to go long, I would wait for a rejection of this level of support down here before actually looking to take that long position.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Bro, can you look at AU?
Like, I mean, if you pay attention to AU, right, you look at the daily time frame, what you see here on the daily is clear as day, a double top pattern. Only thing is that there is support here, so I'd be very cautious to actually look to short unless price breaks this area of support, really, is all I would kind of wait for at this point in time.
Can you look at EU, please?
I mean, again, this isn't like another pair that I trade, but like one thing that I had talked about, I think the last time I broke down Euro USD was this break and retest pattern, and I looked for price to go down to support. So that trade would actually still be playing out. So I'll kind of just wait and see what price does when it does reach this area of support, if it does reach this area of support.
Thank you.
Hey, Raul.
Hey, bro.
So if you look on GJ on the weekly,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like it's forming a bullish variation. So do you think that could also be an indicator of price going bullish from here?
Yes, but you'd have to literally wait for like the weekly close. Unless like the weekly closes, I wouldn't really pay too much attention to it because then you're just kind of like assuming that price is going to form that bearish variation pattern, which is not something that I would do on such a high time frame. The only thing too, though, is if you look at the weekly again, like you have resistance, 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 and now prices again right at resistance. So with GJ, like that's why I'd like to say like I kind of want to wait to see how this ends up playing out because I've seen this play out before and this can easily flip over.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul.
Hey, bro.
On DJ, what would give you an indicator that it is turning bullish, though? Would you want a break of 153, 340 you got, 350 you got, and then retest?
For it to go bullish, I'd probably, the thing is, I'd want to continue to wait and see how things play out. Because I'd want to see what price looks like during London session or literally like an hour before because a lot can happen between there. And that's a lot of data that's missing right now. We're talking about a few hours.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
Where exactly what's your favorite time frame to see like the bullish or bearish variation patterns?
To look to take a trade, probably the 30-minute or the hour.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, can you go over EG?
What?
Euro GBP?
I have never even opened this chart up in my life. I promise you, I've never even opened this chart up in my life. Like this to me is like so unattractive to actually look to trade. So I wouldn't even want to give you an analysis because like this is the first time I'm literally opening up this chart. My bad about that, but I just wouldn't even want to give you an analysis for a pair that I've never even opened up in my life.
Okay, thank you, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
How you pick the pairs that you wanted to trade like over time? Like how you just pick them? Like
basically, I just look at the pairs that I can read and identify price action pretty well. Also, pairs that have a lot of volume and volatility because more volume and more volatility equals bigger moves, which in theory equals more money practically because I can get bigger risk reward ratios.
yeah.
But more importantly, it comes down to like price action and trends.
So what pair would you recommend to trade during New York session besides gold?
Besides gold, I mean, you could trade GJ, you could trade silver, really any pair that moves during the New York session. Euro USD,
US 30.
US 30, yeah. But
I've been back testing GJ and I'm doing horrible, man.
I mean, you know, it's part of the process. I mean, you don't have to trade GJ. You could trade any other pair. You know, if you see that you don't trade or your performance isn't that well on a specific currency pair, then move on to the next. There's a bunch of pairs to trade out there.
Have you ever
Oh,
looked
thanks,
at
man.
EJ? Sorry. Have you ever looked at EJ?
Never.
Can you look at GU, please?
I mean, GU, like, first initial reaction, there's really nothing to do. The only setup I would see is look for a break and retest of this area to continue to go short, but it kind of already happened here. So really, I'd look to continue to short with this overall trend here unless price breaks this area. Once price breaks above this area, then I'd look to actually start buying. But other than that, it's break, retest, look for price to continue to go down.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, no other pair looks as clean as gold. I don't know. Maybe I've just been trading it for too long, but with you going over all these, it's like EJ looked like it was in a descending channel, but just like you said, unattractive. I don't know. It should look choppy as hell.
Yeah, I know. Like, once you trade a certain pair for so long, you don't even want to look for any other pair. You don't even want to look to trade any other
Right.
pair. Like, no point.
Yeah, I found
I like
like,
that shirt too.
Yeah.
hey, Raul, can we get a hint on the psychology, or not what it is, but when it can be dropping the video for the course?
I'm going to be dropping a few over the course of the next few weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, could you take a look at GU again, but in 30-minute chart? Because I'm following 30 minutes.
I mean, even then, like 30-minute, 4-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, it doesn't really matter. I would still look for that break and retest in the 4-hour time frame. Because you essentially, if you sell right now, you'd be selling at a low point.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like buying a pair of sneakers that are worth $100 for $400. There's no point. You know, you'd want to wait for that discount. You'd want to wait for that pullback to look to continue to go short.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have a question, kind of pertaining to psychology. So the drop that happened last week on gold, I kind of had some FOMO because I was waiting. I took a couple pips, maybe probably like 70, 80 pips or so, but then it ended up dropping about 400 pips. I took, I think, 2,000 from it, but I didn't want to hop back in, and I did want to hop back in. I had FOMO, but I didn't hop back in. What do you think is the best position? So basically what I'm trying to say is when it's running, I don't really know how to catch it. So I just let it go, and I wait for it to hit a support, and then I go in the lower time frames to see that it's building some support, and then I'll catch it maybe on the way back up or catch it on a retest. Like if I break a level, and you know what I mean, and you know how gold just drops, should I go down time frames to see, you know what I mean? Because the resistance for gold when it's dropping could be literally one candle. That's like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So when you look on the 30-minute, it's just like 100 pips just like coming straight down. How do you feel like if it's already dropping and I'm not in a trade, do I just sit out?
Yeah, you just wait it out. Because the thing with gold is you got to get in before the actual move itself. Because once the move happening, you're too late. Because the problem with gold is that it might take a little bit of time for it to actually move, but when it moves big. And if you're not in, then you're already too late. Because when you get into a gold move, you're going to be killing your risk-reward ratio.
Okay, so let's say, because I keep my stop loss, regular. Even if it goes down, my next step is to let the trades run. It was entries at first, and I was letting them run. So when do you feel? I remember in a previous webinar you said when it gets to what, your 1 to 2?
Yeah.
To bring the stop loss to what, profit or break even?
Really, it's up to you in the trade and the volume at the end of the day. Because if there's barely any volume, then you might want to give your stop a little bit more space to breathe. If there's a bunch of volume in gold, let's say you're long on gold and you're buying, right? Well, it's long gold buying something. right? But let's say you're long on gold, right? And you have an entry and price is flying in your favor and you're up, 2 times your risk and 3 times your risk, and you control your stops way more aggressive.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed that a couple times last week to where I was in and I exited, like up in profit, but then it just kept going. And I'm like, damn, I want to hop in. And I've seen a couple opportunities, but I've learned from previous times before that when I do that, it normally doesn't go well. So now what I've been learning is for it to wait to hit a certain, higher time frame support, or, you know what I'm saying, see a couple candles with wicks that are building up, bullish variations, shit like that. And I'll just catch a quick scalp going back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would focus more on the bigger moves on gold. Because,
all right,
let's just say, you would have waited for price to come back down into this 1960 area on the 4-hour. You already know you're looking to go long. So you kind of just wait for any sign of rejection for price to actually go long. And that's literally right here. Notice the retest, notice the rejection, notice price move away. You can even break it down to smaller time frames, like the 5-minute time frame. You can start to see a little bit more of a transition. The only thing with gold in the 5-minute time frame, though, is there's going to be a bunch of noise, right? But let's just say you would have caught this initial rejection of this 1960 area, even right here after this second rejection, right? This is like a 200 pip move. So there's plenty of time to capitalize.
Right, and that would be like a perfect position, exactly, like right there when you see that that bullish engulfing. That's when I would hop in.
Yep.
Wait for it to come down to a major support, and then grab a couple pips going back up. That's how I find it easiest for me. Grab a quick 100 pips. But the position last week was when if you go back to the 4-hour, the major drop from the high. So I seen all them candles not breaking up the top. Yeah, I seen all of that not breaking up there. And then I basically got in somewhere around that cluster because I had felt that major rejection, and then it was that whole level over there, a couple wicks, and then it broke under the 4-hour. So I took a little bit, and then I closed it. I took a little bit and closed it, and it just continued to go all the way down, literally to 1982.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with gold is you got to remember, you're not always gonna. What I mean with gold, any currency pair really in specific, is that you're not always gonna catch those home run trades. And the problem is when you're always trying to chase a home run trade, you're just gonna get stopped out more because you're just being greedy. So I always just go with the flow. You know what I mean? If you made money, at the end of the day, that's what's important.
Right. Exactly. That's why I wasn't really mad about it. But then when I see when it kept going, I'm like, it is what it is.
It's a shitty feeling, but it's part of the game. There's gonna be more moves.
Right.
There's more.
Hello, Raul. How's it going?
It's good, bro.
Are you still with the Athens broker?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if they have the option for a corporation, or you just gotta do it under your name?
No, it's all. Oh, actually, I don't know. You're talking about creating an account?
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to open the broker tomorrow.
I'm not sure. I will contact support, but I'm pretty sure it's just under your own name.
Do they have the the option for corporation?
I would ask support.
Got it. Perfect, man. And also, how do you transfer money to them? Crypto? Yeah. Do you know through what page?
What do you mean, to what page?
They don't have the option.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it doesn't say deposit nothing in their website.
Yeah, it's Bitcoin.
Oh, through Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Got it. All right, my man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
Bro, does FMS allow trade copier?
My bad. Can you repeat that?
Does FMS allow trade copiers?
The broker doesn't. The broker that is linked with FMS.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason you try and go and link one, it just doesn't let you.
Hey, Raul,
go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I know you trade London session. You don't think about in the future trading New York session?
Yeah, bro, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Really?
But it's just a pain to rip myself up even more.
I stayed up
Yeah.
the whole night just to trade New York. Like I didn't even sleep. I had to stay. I was like, I'm gonna trade New York because London was ass. So I was just like, I'm gonna trade New York.
That happens to me sometimes, bro. But that's
It's like you can't sleep.
That's such a shitty.
Well, wait, what pair? GJ or gold?
Gold.
I would trade gold in New York.
No, obviously, but he was saying that that London was ass. I don't know. It's been straight for me, but
No, I mean it was
Why-
asked for me. It was asked for me. I messed up and took a bad trade. Just
Yes.
like
Sometimes I think
It
like
happened, bro.
sometimes I think I do good at New York session than the London session. I don't know why.
Yeah. Like I feel like gold I do better during New York than I would during London, and then I try to stay towards GJ on London.
Even GJ, I'm doing good at GJ and New York session too. So I guess I need to change.
you know what I
that.
noticed with New York? New York has more news than London, so it whips it. You know what I'm saying? It whips it more. I don't know. I normally get burnt with New York for some reason. I don't know.
Usually when London starts, there's a lot of fake outs. Like it fakes you out a lot in the beginning, and then once like more volume starts to kick in, like 345, 430, it starts making the move, and it's like, damn.
Yo,
Right.
Raul,
Question.
Yeah.
will you ever do gold signals during New York?
No, I'm not even calling the signals right now.
Yo, tell AD he killing it on that though.
Yeah, he is.
He killing it.
He is.
Can y'all hear me?
Who is it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Question for you. What do you recommend as far as like any books or anything for learning how to kind of like turn something into LLC to pay yourself? Or so that like if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to get an apartment, like how would I go about showing funds or proof of income with trading?
I'm gonna be honest. I would speak to a CPA, but when it comes down to trading, like, you're gonna have a big capital gains tax, and then it's just kind of like any other self-employed individual. They're gonna want to see like monthly bank statements and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So there's no special way. You just go to a CPA.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
because I was looking for that in the course as well.
Wait, anyone you recommend?
I mean, I wouldn't even want to recommend people because that's just such like a touchy subject when it comes down to like taxes or anything. Really, it just comes down to having a good accountant.
Okay, thank you.
You have any issues?
No.
And for funding too, I've always traded my own capital, but I was gonna try the funding just for basically shits and giggles, just for discipline, and psychology reasons. Is there anything particular I need to look out for or I need to pay attention to?
I wouldn't say so. I just think you just have to be more tight with your risk parameters.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else got any other questions?
Yo, bro.
It's good, bro.
Hey, yo, quick question, man. What's your sleeping schedule? Because I'm trying to stick with London, and that just fucking me up, like in terms of sleep.
Bro, I mean, everybody's gonna have a different lifestyle. Nobody lives exactly my life. So, I mean, when it comes down to like you and your trading routine, you need to find what works for you.
Yeah, but like yours personally, just to have an idea, like how you work with that schedule.
I'll be up the rest of the night until I'm done trading, then go to sleep. Wake up whenever I want. Do the same thing then.
All right, pretty good, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, literally.
I have a question.
Good, bro.
That's good. So, how do you manage your trades on holidays and summer?
I mean, the thing is, like, holidays, I didn't trade holidays this year. I didn't trade December like at all. When it comes down to the summer, I know my trading takes a hit because volume is down. So I just kind of use lower risk.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Fam, I gotta ask too. Did you learn everything by yourself, bro?
No, I didn't. I've taken a bunch of courses. But when it comes down to like actually learning, it really just comes down to understanding yourself and your own trading psychology. That's what's more important. It's experience.
Right. But bro,
that could be developed and improved on over time, right? But learning how to actually like trade, it all comes down to trading psychology. That's what makes up the majority of what trading actually is. It's all literally psychology.
Right. I've been trading a long time, bro. I've been trading 5 years plus, but like trading with you is gonna change my shit completely, bro. Like completely. Like having a mentor, especially you, bro. You feel me? I'm pretty sure we could all agree that you know what I'm saying? That people ain't touching you when it comes to this shit. But it's like, I don't know, the shit that you put us on and you know what I mean? It's just like, how do you know that? It's like obviously you had to learn from, somewhere or something, but obviously your grasp and catching on to certain things, it could completely change. Like I've seen, bro, like with my experience and my prior knowledge, mixed with what you're teaching us is definitely damage. A lot of us in this institution are making moves and shit. A lot of us, I think, are gonna come out, good.
That's the goal at the end of the day. But when it comes down to
Sure.
it's really all a game of experience. Everyone has a different learning curve,
Yeah, I don't know if you tell, bro.
Yeah.
Did you know at your early stages of the journey that you're gonna get to this level specifically of success?
I never thought that I didn't, if that's better said. Like, I always had envisioned where I wanted to be, and I did anything possible to get there. I never.
Can you check silver quickly?
What's up?
Can you check silver quickly, please?
Yeah. I mean, the thing with silver is like, I wouldn't even look at touching silver right now just because of the area that it's consolidating in. Like, really right now, what I would see is silver shorts back down to this 24.8 level is what I would see on silver and what I would expect silver to do. But really, like, we'd have to see what happens in this area.
Yeah.
Silver's a waiting game.
Thank you.
Bro, what did you say about EJ?
Oh, I didn't even check it because I never even traded it.
Are those the only two SMAs you use, Raul?
Yeah, these are only two ones.
Okay, you no longer use the 8 or something anymore?
It's too aggressive.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's too aggressive.
I heard someone mention about magic keys. Do you think anything about magic keys?
I mean, you can use them if you're scalping, but like when you're trading like an hour time frame and you're looking for those big moves, like I don't know how beneficial it would be. I mean, they're just another tool you could use.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that you want to give us? Just, without us asking questions.
In what sense?
I don't know, bro. Life advice, trading advice.
Psychological mostly, because that's what I feel like is the biggest barrier in trading. Like how you say, it's mostly 80%. Mostly 80% psychology. So it takes a huge toll on some people because some people don't have that discipline and they have to get into routine of being that person to be able to trade. Because if you don't become the person you want to become when you trade, it messes up your psychology. It doesn't help. So like in that sense.
When it comes
How about your best advice on passing the challenge?
Passing the challenge, really, like a lot of people overthink it. You just gotta trade and manage your risk. There's no like, risk this and go for this. Like you just gotta trade and manage your risk.
Have you seen my adapter?
So
Raul.
So let go ahead.
All right, cool. So I think this is something we all want to hear about, like at the beginning of your career, right?
Yeah.
Accounts that you blew.
Okay.
How did you manage to stay consistent and say, all right, I have a vision? You already said it, but when you say, okay, I have a vision, but you blow in accounts, which I think you did because most of us have done it. How do you stay consistent and set to yourself, like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get through it, and, I'm going to become a profitable trader in the future? What do you do? What do you put in your mind? I know everyone is different, but I think it's something that most of us would like to hear, like, because according to the percentage, 95% of the traders, whoever starts, trading, 95% quit. And then the remaining balance, stay and then, make it through. So
Yes,
what
I
do
never
you
had
tell
it
us
in mind.
as beginner traders?
I never had anything else in mind. It was literally either trade for a living or die trying. It was literally that simple. There was no like, oh yeah,
Live or die.
this and that. It was literally, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get it done no matter what. I'm gonna put in all of the work that's required to actually be able to accomplish my goals.
It's all about manifestation.
Literally.
Did you have a job? Like, did you have a job while trading or no? Have you ever worked a part-time or full-time job?
No, I've always either owned a business or helped out in the family business, but I've never had a 9 to 5 job.
But Raul, like the crazy part is that how did you keep yourself focused and not been distracted? Because you're obviously young and at your age, like 19, 20, there's a lot of distraction here, like your friends going out and there, but you are focused. How did you keep yourself like this?
Well, one, at that time, I didn't have like too many friends. Obviously, like I had my friends here and there, and go hang out here and there, but like I was
I don't
surrounded
think so.
already by like
I'm
success.
trying to think.
So I wanted to go out and do it on my own. And on top of that, when it came down to like staying focused, not being distracted, like I didn't want to be like your average person, in their early 20s, broke as fuck, spending all of their money at a night in the club. Right? I didn't want to have to worry about that. So throughout like my entire like later teenage years, earlier, I mean, I'm still in my early 20s, but like 17, 18, 19, 20, it was 110% building my net worth and getting myself going so I don't have to do that catching up later on, right? I'd rather go through the entire process of grinding now and get set up first because it's going to be so much more rewarding later on.
Your dad was probably big on everything too, right? Keeping you going and shit like that. As far as like the inspiration, motivation.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
I got a question.
Yo, Raul. Motivation, bro. Thanks.
I got a question, Raul.
I have a question, bro.
All right. So I got a fiance, right?
Okay.
And I'm trying to stay up on the session and focus on trading the markets, but it's like I got to try to work it out to spend time on. And she complains about that because if I'm up all night, I'm sleeping during the day. She's up during the day. You just got to give me the weekends. Like, how do you manage being in a relationship?
I mean,
break up with her.
The last relationship I was in, it was pretty easy. We both worked during the night, right? But when it comes down to like time management, it really just comes down to like, managing your own time. So everybody has, different things going on. If you could trade New York session, then you might as well just go and trade New York session to be up during the day instead of, being up all night and then sleeping throughout the entire morning and afternoon or midday.
Thanks a lot, man.
I have a question, please.
Yeah.
How much FMS allows to control the other fund?
Anybody else? Wait, what did you say?
How much FMS allows to control other funds?
My bad, I can't understand you, bro.
Yo, what was that first trade that you like, holy shit, like I know you remember that one trade where you looked at, you know what I mean?
Probably when I made like 30K on UJ because it happened so fast. It happened in literally 2 minutes. I was in profit floating like $1,200 out of nowhere. I'm in profit $30,000 when the market crashed.
Do you still trade UJ?
Yo, Raul, I've been with you since that UJ trade, bro.
That's crazy. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, I was, I think like early 2019.
What was your account size?
At that time, it was like 40K.
So how do you feel if, let's say, we risk 3% and we take 1% trades, 1, 2, 3 trades. Let's say you lose the 3%. You will stop trading until the next day, the next session?
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any rules on like, okay, once you made a trade, how much you like, do you take out a percentage that you pay to yourself and then keep the rest for the next trade? Or do you just?
It depends. Like on the last trade, I closed out like 35K and I decided, you know what, I'm going out this weekend. I'm withdrawing 12K. It's not like, if I make 10,000, I'm withdrawing 2,500 bucks every single time. No, it's not like that. It's kind of just like, all right, I made 50K, I'm withdrawing 25. Fuck it.
Oh, okay. All right, got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo, Raul.
Good, bro.
Yo, what is it? A question about the signal group. Who did you say that was calling out the signals?
His name is Albert.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
No,
Yo,
there's no signals on Sundays, are there? I'm new, so that's why I'm asking.
What's up?
I said I'm new to the signals chat. So is there like a schedule? Is there no signals on Sundays, or is it then?
Every London session. If there's a trade, then if he takes the trade, then he takes it.
So Raul, in the signal room, you always send many TPs, right? So me as a signal receiver, when I get the signal like and execute the trade, should I hold till the last TP or wait until the structure been broken on the minor time frame and close the trade? Or like how can I manage it properly?
Thing is, I wouldn't even want to tell you how to manage that trade because they're not my trades. But for
You told me to trail stop loss, I think.
Yeah, I would just use a trailing stop loss because I wouldn't hold to the last TP all the time because the last TP doesn't always get hit.
And he's a scalper as well. I noticed that, right?
Yeah, he's a breakout trader.
Okay. Breakout, okay.
Yeah.
Raul, how do I know if an accountant is a good accountant? It's not like a dumb question, but I seriously want to know.
Damn, I mean, that's such like a.
You got to get referrals on that stuff.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody that makes a lot of money and get a referral from them.
Yeah, that's something that's very.
As you know.
Thank you.
That's what I had to do.
Because
when you have it,
you can have one guy make $500K and pay $250,000 in taxes, and he says, "Yeah, my accountant's fired. I paid $250,000 in taxes, but I made $500,000. I'm gonna tell that guy, yo, you're fucking retarded, right?
Yeah, that's.
The other guy makes.
It's backwards though. But if you make $500,000, you better expect to pay at least 100.
Yeah,
that's just the way this shit go. It's ass backwards. I've gotten big tax bills and this shit just crazy. Yeah. That shit is depressing as hell.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
I got a real estate business though, so my real estate tax bills are pretty high. So that shit threw me for a loop for when I first started.
Yo,
I have
Raul,
2 questions.
Thank you.
What's good, bro?
do you recommend us getting funded for smaller amounts like 10K or 50K before we go for bigger account sizes when it comes to getting funded?
Can you repeat that?
So do you recommend that we shoot to get funded for smaller account sizes before we lead up to?
I would go minimum 100K. It's not even worth it unless 100K.
You said it's not worth it unless it's 100K?
Yeah.
Or 50 at least.
Why do you feel like that?
Because what's the point? Like
it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get that past that challenge. And if you want to make it worth it.
Yeah, literally. Because I mean, let's say you're shooting for an average of 10%. 10% on $50,000 is only $5,000, and you're gonna keep the whole $5,000. You keep 70-80%. So what are you gonna realistically be taking home at the end of the month? Like $4,000, $4,500 at most, right? So
okay.
It's really not even worth it, in my opinion, at least. Because I know for me, $5,000 is not covering nothing.
Yo.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Raul.
Yo, so my bad.
Go ahead. No, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but is there any way you could allow more participants to join the Zooms?
I already did.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it was capped out at 100 last time. There's 121 in right now.
All right. So for psychology, right? But taking your course, I've been trading approaching 2 years. So I finally just buckled down and was like, you know what? I already made bread outside of ever buying a course, but I wanted to know structure and everything, how you guys got going on. And I seen you pass the FTMO. So I've been taking let's say I'll take $1,000 demo account, only do 10-cent positions, one 10-cent position at a time to make 100 in a month. and then I'll try and do that again without losing the 100. You see, then scale up to a $10,000 account, take a dollar position the same way. And then if I feel the consistency on that for a psychology trick, then I can go for an FTMO funded account for like 100K. Just do $10 positions one at a time. It's basically the same thing, right?
No, because you have a 10% target. So if you're only trading one lot at a 10% target, it's literally going to take you almost forever to get to that target point. Remember, you have to get 10% within 30 days. So you really have to increase your risk there. I would always just focus on a percentage-based risk and always focus on the percentage. Because right now, if I gave you an account that has 10 grand in the account and I tell you, try and make 10% a month, and you do that successfully, it's like, all right, cool, you just made $1,000 a month. But maybe what I didn't tell you is in the back end, I actually have an account linked to that 10% account that's actually $1 million in the account, and you've been making me 100 grand a month while you've been making yourself only $1,000 a month, right?
Oh wow!
You wouldn't have money, you'd be making 100 grand a month if I told you just go make 10%.
Interesting.
Why does 1,000 on 10,000 sound so easy?
To pass the challenge, though.
To pass the challenge, bro, you risk 0.5% and risk 1%.
Right.
So like $500, $1,000 a trade.
Right. To not lose, like more so, if I take the same amount of trades or the same exact trades, like same setups, just increase the position size per the account is what I'm getting at. Basically, like if it was, let's say you hit, for example, a 10-cent trade, $37 payout. Okay, cool. So if that was a $10 trade, that would have been $3,700 payout. And then that's close to almost half percentage of the 10% that you need to pass the first portion of the funded part. And then you only got to make $5 grand. You see, that's where I'm going with it more so, not like that. Like when you get the account, of course, trade it how you want within risk parameters.
Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, what works for you is, what's always going to be best. What works for me might not necessarily work exactly for you. So just do what works for you.
Right. Appreciate it.
Raul,
yeah.
Do you still pass challenges or?
No, we've actually been developing an algorithm to do all of that.
Oh.
Yeah, to pass.
Yo, you need to drop that, bro. You need to drop that.
I know. We're working on it. I just don't know, like, I wouldn't even know, like, what to charge. I wouldn't even know how to. It's just like a whole logistics. My team and I are right now.
You and Alex doing big things, bro.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on.
Like, even in, like, not just, like, together, also, like, individually.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the way that Alex has grown in the matter of, like, a year is kind of crazy.
Yeah, a year ago, when I put him on, I think he was at, like, 1,000 followers. Now he's at, like, 40K and he's verified.
Yeah, bro. It's kind of crazy how far you guys have come.
Yeah. I mean, I still see it as only the beginning.
Yeah, dude, you guys have been friends for. I remember when you guys you first started putting him on, bro. That was crazy. It's not that long ago, and it's crazy how big you guys can get in like such a small amount of time.
I'm telling you, a lot could change within a year.
Yeah, and from previous examples, like from when you were friends with other people and stuff, and
exactly, a lot could change within a year. I mean, just imagine if one of you guys was just literally able to pull off what I did on FTMO, where you make 100K in the span of, not even 100K, it was like 150K in the span of 30 days.
Man, I do what you did, and I'm giving you half my payout for sure.
Bro, how much did you risk for that, by the way?
It depends. It depended on the trade, really.
Dang.
It all wasn't one trade, was it? It was like over a period of time.
Huh?
It was just multiple trades, right? It wasn't just like one or two trades.
There's a bunch of
for that big FTMO.
Yeah, you guys
trade.
Go see it on the website.
Yeah, what size account did you have?
300K. I made 50%.
How many brokers?
Nice.
What?
How many brokers do you use?
Just one right now.
But you tried all of them, right? Like FMS and FTMO.
Yeah.
And Athens, you use Athens now?
That's not a broker. Those are just funded companies. The only broker that I'm on right now is Athens. I've tried Hugo's Way, Trader's Domain. I've tried every fucking broker.
All right, which brokers did you have issues with?
Oh, okay.
That's a better question.
Brokers.
Well, my question is, what made you stay with Athens? Like, what was it about Athens that didn't hear you? Sorry.
The spreads.
Okay.
I don't know if they're giving me like a better deal because I just opened up a regular pro account with them. Their commissions are, I'm not gonna lie, they're expensive as fuck, right? But the spreads are so fire. I'm telling you, like, I took a trade on GJ and immediately I went into profit. It's crazy.
Hey, yo, what's the purpose of like mastering trading if people are now like getting bots and using bots to trade now?
Passive income.
You said what?
Passive income.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's just passive income. Because if
Can
you're
you
not,
be a billionaire from trading, bro?
because if you're not trading, you're not making money. But if a bot is doing it, then you know you're making money while you sleep. Because when you're actually manually trading, that's earned income. When an AI is doing it for you, that's passive.
So do you think that like one day it's just all going to be automated? Like most people are going to just opt to have a bot to trade for them rather than actually trade?
I don't think everybody's gonna have it, but you know, definitely it's gonna be something that's gonna be more exploited.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, how do you go about that? How do you go about obtaining like a bot like that?
Bro, there's like so much shit you need to do. You need a coder, you need to have like a strategy for the bot. The one thing that's good about a bot is that there's like no emotions in an algorithm. So a bot theoretically could definitely outperform a trader. But again, you know, then it comes down to like, there's just a lot that goes into it, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Uncle Ted was saying that the human mind will always outperform the bot.
It depends. It depends. Because if you have somebody that's too emotional, it's not going to outperform the bot, especially not in trading. And that's the thing about bots. It removes that emotion. And that's the hardest part about trading. It's the emotional aspect of trading. That makes it so difficult. But at the end of the day, I do think it does depend on the trader. But yeah. But anyways, I'm going to stop.
Hey, Raul.